Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Welcome back to This Week in Sky Bet League 2. Well, we've had a lot of drama, haven't we? We've had a lot of goals, a lot of big tussles at the top, lots of drama to talk through. We are here with my good mate Seb from Walsall, who is looking down at us all right now. They sit top of the league, 11 games in, scoring goals, got a bit of a point gap on fourth. I think we've seen this story before, Seb.
No comment. No comment.
Like it's just happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this year Walsall look different. That's what we have to say. But we'll come to Walsall in a bit. On this series, we go through every game in League Two in the last week. Currently, Harrogate Town are beating Crewe 1-0. We won't probably get a chance to talk about that, but we'll have a chat about both of their starts to the season later on in the video, just with timings and trying to get this video out. This was the only available time we had to get this video out for Tuesday, the 7th of October at 4 o'clock. Start off at Stadium MK, where MK Dons have had a bit of trouble of late, but they've now won back-to-back games, have the Dons, and 2 wins in a row at this time of the season. Seb has taken the Dons from mid-table to 6th. And they're only 3 points off Gillingham, who have lost their last couple of games. There was a 9-point gap down to 3. A good win for MK Dons in this one. When you look at it, they were very front-footed. They had 13 shots. They had 4 on target. Gillingham were in the game as well. It was a good tussle between 2 good sides. But ultimately, it was the Dons who got the victory in this one.
Yeah, it's a good win for MK Dons. I was looking at some of the games, but I think their last home win was on the 16th of August against Cheltenham. The home record hasn't been great, so back-to-back wins, like you said, just shows you how open the league is this season. You win 2 and you're into the playoffs. You know, MK Dons with the squad they got, that's where you expect them to be at the bare minimum. Aaron the main at wing back on the wing as well. He's looking a good threat for them, as we know, and that's a good win for MK Dons. They've got to build in it now and go on a little bit of a run now. Like we mentioned, Gillingham, obviously, there were 21 games unbeaten, last 2 games, 2 defeats. But yeah, you kind of, I know you obviously don't want to lose games, but you kind of do expect a little bit of a dip in form after going on such a good run. But yeah, Gills have still got off to a good start this season.
It always happens when you go on such a long run. Walsall, did you win? You won 10 in a row, didn't you? And pretty much after that, you lost to Bradford and you lost to Fleetwood. When Fleetwood won 18 games unbeaten a few years ago, we'd lost to Bolton and we drew a cup on the loss. It's so hard to get back into your groove. Bounce back ability. Every side in this league, at some point, I genuinely will believe will go through a 5-game bad period. I always say that about every side. That 5-game bad period, maybe you win 1, you draw 2, you lose 2, or you lose 3 in a row, or something happens in that 5-game period where you don't play well, results don't go well. And this is Gillingham's first test. MK Dons, they have been pretty flat. I didn't mention that. I don't think they've beaten a good side yet up until this game. When you look at who they beat Newport, they beat Shrewsbury, they beat Barrow, they beat Cheltenham. But this is a proper victory for them, their 5th victory of the season, 19 goals scored. And it's such a really good side that they've got up there. On Patterson's done very well. I can't believe, I think he's only 30. He is the oldest looking 30-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Aaron Nemain and Mendes Lang is paced for days. Gilby, Collar and Kelly midfield. I don't think you'll get a better midfield 3 in the division than that. With Ekpeteta and Maguire at the back and McGilvery in goal. It's a solid 11. For Dons, for Gillingham, though, again, they've got a strong side. Gareth Ainsworth, we wish him all the best. He's currently recovering from a bit of like much needed medical work that he's needed doing. He's a great guy. And I'm sure under his leadership, Gillingham will get back to winning ways. What a great victory for Colchester United, though, Seb. They've been involved in 14 goals across their last 2 games. Before that, they'd only been involved in 18 goals across their previous 9. So lots of goals to talk about in the last few weeks. Jack Payne hat-trick in the first half. Harry Anderson with a brace and Lisby with a goal. I watched Colchester last week and was really impressed with how they threatened and how they play football. And the thing is with Colchester, things haven't been going their way, but they've drawn 5 of their 11 games, just turning those draws into victories. They were outstanding the other day against a really good Chesterfield side that they've not started poorly, but they've not started great. Only 1 win in 6 for the Sparrites.
Yeah. Colchester, a bit of a slow start. bit like last season, really. The first 10, 15 games are in around where they are now. First win at home as well for Colchester is a massive one. And to do it in the style that did, dominating performance, creating chances, and Jack Payne, obviously, with the first half hat-trick, he's such a class player for the level. Technically on the ball, I think he's probably better than League Two level. So to have a player like that for Colchester is obviously a massive positive. And like you said, I think Colchester are a good side. It's been a little bit of a slow start. Like I say, if they turn a few of them draws into wins now, they will climb the table. In terms of Chesterfield, I think their massive kind of concern at the moment is defensively. They're conceding too many goals. I think their last clean sheet come on the opening day of the season. I think they're just way too open in terms of the wider play. I think Paul Cook wants to play this attacking style of football, and he hasn't. I don't think he's got the centre backs to play that kind of style of football. So against when they come to us in September, both of the centre backs are way too slow to be playing kind of this attacking, free-flowing football. They've got some good attacking players, but real bad day at the office for Chesterfield.
Dunkley and Graham suit a back three, really. Obviously, they play a back 4-4-2-3-1 with Sturk and Fleck in midfield. And the players that they got out wide in Mandeville and Dobra, Grigg up front, they've got plenty of attacking options. And likes of Darcy, Mark Handy on the bench, James Berry on the bench to bring on. You've got attacking talent. For Colchester, I think they're a really underrated team. When you look through their attacking, and Bick was outstanding against Fleetwood. He causes nothing but problems. Lisby, Payne, Anderson. It's a really good team, and it will really come together nicely. They're effective. They're good at the dark arts. They know how to get a result or two. It's just about consistency now. And for me, a team that I perform at the very best is Grimsby. I think they're absolutely outstanding. And I still don't think they've hit the highs yet. They won 7-1 last week against Cheltenham. They've just gone away from home and beat Salford by 2-0. Kahori, outstanding. Vernon, outstanding. And you look through the squad, Green, Vernon, Byrne, Cabia, up front, McEachran in midfield. And at the back, they're solid. They know what they are. Dave Artell has been given time at that football club to restructure, to go again and reset. And this is what happens when you give an experienced manager at League One and certainly League Two level to do it. This reminds me of his Crew squad that he got up, that he built a foundation, he built a team that played good football, attacking football. And were they at the greatest of the day? No, they weren't, but they scored, they were effective. And onto a Salford side that are, let's be honest, are a very good team. If Salford won that, they're on 22 points from 11 and they're sat in the top three. It was a much-needed victory for the Mariners. I thought they were absolutely outstanding, if I'm honest with you. I thought, excellent. I am certain for me, Seb, they'll play in League One next year. I think they've got everything they need. They've got the foundation, they've got a good fan base, got a good team, a good manager. They know what they are.
Yeah, I definitely think Grimsby are going to be up there come the end of the season. That was a real professional away performance, I think, in the end for Grimsby. Got obviously a really early goal, gives them a boost in the game. I think Cesar has a massive chance of Salford there, one-on-one with the keeper. He has to score and it could change to be a different game. But that's football, ifs, buts and maybes can, play a big part. But yeah, good win for Grimsby, like we said. But they're going to be there and thereabouts come the end of the season. A really adaptable side, I feel like, with David Artell. They can play football, but they know kind of the times in the game where they're hard to beat. They don't have to go chasing for the games when they're in the lead. I think that is a good sign of a good team as well. Charles Vernon, another goal and assist as well. He's on good form this season. All round, good win for Grimsby. For Salford, back-to-back defeat. Not a great one for them. They need to bounce back. I think they've got Chesterfield away next week.
Your boys, Seb, Walsall, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Didn't have a lot of the ball again, 33% of it. You came from behind against a good Bristol Rovers side. Fabrizio Cavagan with the goal. Bristol Rovers have been really good of late. They've started to turn the tide over. They'd won 4 of the previous 5 coming into this. They picked up, a good number of victories, 17 points. They were unbeaten. Walsall come, get the victory. The type of game that Walsall were winning last year, playing the way they were, the performance on the stats and the measure of them isn't much different to when you were losing games of football last year. But all of a sudden now you're winning games of football. But those metrics, they do have to win games of football, don't they? Because you saw it last year. When it was winning, nothing was said. When it was losing, all of a sudden the argument came out again. But 25 points, Seb, from a possible 33.
Mate, outstanding start to the season. I think especially what happened at like the back end of last season. We've got a new team now. 25 points from 11 is just brilliant, really. I can't really ask any more what's happening at the moment. But I think the main thing for me, I said it last season, let's not get complacent. You take each game as it comes at any level of football, really. And I think hopefully this season we have that mentality. In terms of the game, I think Bristol Rovers dominated the first half. I think they controlled the tempo. They were on the front foot. They took the game to us, and they deserved the 1-0 lead. It could have probably been 2 or 3 at half time if they took the chances. But I think Darryl Clark set up second half really to let us back into the game. They kind of come into the second half just to sit on the 1-0, invited us back into the game. We were much better. We had a couple of subs that come on, Brandon Comley, Corny Clark, changed the game really, and I think we probably deserved the win in the end in terms of our second half performance. Aaron Presley getting obviously 2 goals. That dude's confidence the world of good, and 2 good goals as well. His second goal is a brilliant one, and yeah, I'm just hoping, as signs so far, fingers crossed, Matt Sadler's kind of learning from last season in terms of the subs he's brought on early and being more, proactive instead of reactive. Chris Powell to the backroom staff as well. That is a good, obviously, addition to the side as well. Bristol Rovers, I think they're a decent side, probably one of the best I've seen this season, just not for the whole 90 minutes. I think that's been their story of the season so far. They'll have a good first half and then they'll just kind of drop in terms of standard second half. But for Walsall, that is a real good win coming from behind as well.
I must admit, those first 3 games, I bet Matt Sadler was slightly worried because if he loses, let's be honest, 2 of those first 3 or loses all 3, could easily happen. After last year, playoff hangover, things happen. He's either out of a job or the fan base is toxic and everything. This good start doesn't happen. Everything's negative. To start in the way that Walsall have after everything that went on last year, obviously 14, 15 points clear of 4th and you got shorter by the day and the performances weren't good and you limped over the line and in the playoffs it looked good and you lost a typical League 2 game of footy at Wembley where it was a set piece and it was nothing real equality. Walsall had 1 opportunity. Wimbledon had 1 opportunity. Wimbledon won 1-0. To bounce back and win 8 of your first 11 in that style is testament to Matt Sadler. You got a lot of critics last year. I think even you yourself thought it might have been the end of the road for him. Testament to Walsall. However, I think there's still critics out there that all think, well, we're not judging you yet. We won't praise you yet. You've done well, fair play, but you'll start getting praised. It'll be right. January, February, if we can get over that, then it's like, right, okay, they'll start to believe again. Bristol Rovers are a good side there. 2,200 supporters in League 2 away from home is unbelievable, by the way. They were going to come against a decent side, but they're solid defensively now. And for me, I think they'll be okay. Cheltenham 2, Fleetwood 0. The return of Steve Cottrell to the football club, 23 years on after leaving. And it was a much better, a much more positive, and a much more front-footed performance from the Robins. They weren't brilliant all through the game, but they played with heart and desire and passion and for the football club, which I don't think they've done in the last few weeks. And they were, in my opinion, better in front of the goal. They worked Jay Lynch a lot more than Fleetwood worked Joe Day in the Cheltenham goal. And yeah, Fleetwood did have more shots on target, but they were pretty soft at the goalkeeper. Fleetwood looks so tactically all over the place. I don't see an identity with this side. I don't see a real structure. I don't see a foundation, and I don't see where this club is going at this moment in time. Pete Wild, I think, deserves time. The players need to take the critiques the other day because there was some simple things wrong with that Fleetwood performance. They don't look right at the moment. It looks slow, it looks sluggish, it looks improvisation. They don't look like they know what they want to do. I look at us and I think, are we a pressing side? Are we a wanting to get the ball forward? It looks like we just want to try and get the first goal and try and see it out. Pete Wild mentions first goal all the time and see it out. That's basically what he wants to try and do. But obviously, football doesn't always work like that. But a great victory for Cheltenham. And a week on from losing 7-1, having no manager and down to 9 men, they win 2-0 with a decent manager that they all love and adore, and they're at the bottom too, Seb.
Yeah, that result on the weekend is exactly what they need. Kind of just the feel-good factor back at the club with Steve Cottrell. I think it's everything that you kind of expect with Steve Cottrell's side. They're organised, disciplined, they work hard, and a sprinkle of obviously quality from Isaac Hutchinson. We know when he's on it what he can do at this level. He's got a good strike on him, can create. Obviously, got a goal and an assist. Obviously, with Josh Martin's second goal. I think from your point of view, in terms of Fleetwood, the second goal is a poor one to give away. In terms of how it all comes about. In terms of you guys just lacking a lot of consistency, and I kind of spot on in terms of what's going on there at the moment. Things have got to pick up, or things gonna end not good for you guys. But yeah, for Cheltenham, it's a result they need to build on it going forward. But good start to the Steve Cottrell era again.
Fleetwood have only won back-to-back games 3 times under Pete Wild, but only lost back-to-back games twice. He's very inconsistent. It almost feels like every 5 games they'll get 7 points. Seb, as we go down the games now, we've had our 5 main games. Swindon Town briefly went top of the table with their 8th victory in 11 in League 2, with a 1-0 win over struggling Newport County, who have now lost 9, drawn 1 and won 1. It's worrying times for Newport, but how good is this Swindon side?
Yeah, Swindon, they're a strong side for this level now. Ian Holloway has built a good side for this level. There's kind of a good blend of kind of young up and coming players. I mean, you've got the experience now. You like to be Ollie Palmer's, Ollie Clark at the back. Ryan Taffazoli, I think, is a brilliant addition for League 2 level. He's in the air. He's just gonna win most stuff week in, week out. I think on the game on Saturday, I don't think Swindon were probably at the best, but is that a good sign of a good side? Probably not being at your best, but being solid, getting the result on the board, and back-to-back clean sheets. I think that's the main thing for Swindon. Early parts of the season, they were conceding goals, but scoring a lot as well. They've shown a different side to them in recent weeks where they've been solid. But I think Swindon play some real good stuff at times with the players they've got going forward, like Paul Glatzel, obviously Aaron Drinan as well. Some good players Swindon have got, and I think another side that are going to be obviously challenging for promotion. In terms of Newport County, I think they've won in the last 20 games in the league. It's so, kind of dreadful at Newport at the moment. I think David Hughes is definitely under pressure, and we'll wait and see how it happens. But currently bottom, not a good start to the season at all.
8 defeats for Newport County, just 5 points on the board. That bottom 4 of Newport, Shrewsbury, Cheltenham, Crawley, and you can even add Aki in there. As a bottom 5, they do look concerning. And talking of Accrington Stanley, they lost 2-0 to Barnet at the weekend. Barnet lost their first 3 games of the season to Fleetwood, Bromley and Walsall. But since then, in the last 8, they've won 5, drawn 2, lost 1, picking up 17 points. And of course, that 1 defeat comes with a Shrewsbury, who have only won 1 in 11 this year. What a great start for the Bees. 17 points after a tough start. Dean Brennan was happy with their application. Goals from Stead and Glover to get the Bees 3 points. I think John Doolan can be proud of what his Accrington Stanley team are doing for him. They're not the best, but they're fighting for him. There's application there. There's a desire to win the games. They have shots, but not a lot of them hit the target. 2 on target the other day. But they were okay, and there's still work to be done for Stanley. I still feel they're often enough. They can get 3 points from somewhere. A great win for Notts County, though, Seb, against Oldham. A proper league, I'd say it's a League One type bare minimum this, between 2 great football clubs, 2 old, great history clubs. Notts County have started to find a little bit of rhythm. There's often a good win in there for Notts County, but there's often a defeat in there. They're at 17 points from 11. Oldham on the deceiving end of a defeat this time after a decent run, picking up 10 points from the previous 12.
Yeah, Notts County looking strong at home so far this season. I think from their first 17 points they've picked up, 13 of them have been at home. So that is a good sign. If you get your wins on the board, you've got to pick up a little bit away from home. But looked like a good performance in the end, obviously winning 3-1. But in terms of the way they played, some of the chances they created as well could have been more. Tyrese Hall on loan from Tottenham looking like a real good signing, a real creator in that obviously attacking third for Notts County. In terms of Oldham, first defeat in the first from the last 7 games as well. Obviously need to bounce back next week. But I think a weakness for Notts County is the keeper at the moment. From the highlights I'm watching, I think it's Roos in goal. It looks a little bit kind of vulnerable in between the sticks for them. So that's one to watch out for. But unbeaten in the last 5 games at home for Notts County. Like you said, finding a little bit of rhythm now.
Bromley 3, Tranmere 3. Bromley love a draw at home. They've drawn a lot of games 2-2 at home. This one 3-3. Andy Woodman and Andy Crosby go back years, apparently, and both of them getting a point. Both of these sides love a draw. Bromley's 6th draw of the season compared to Tranmere's 5. They played a game less. Tranmere, 11 points are tough to beat. They've only lost 3. Bromley are very tough to play against and tough to beat, especially at home. No winning 5, though. 3 draws, 2 defeats. Baffling penalty decision in Bromley's favour. But I think it was Nathan Smith who boots the ball away, and I think it ends up in Amari Patrick's side, and he can't get out of the way of it. It's absolutely baffling. But overall, Tranmere can be proud of the spirit that they played with. That they went behind once, they got back in it. They went behind twice, they got back in it. They went behind a third time, they got back in it. They are clearly playing for Andy Crosby. They weren't playing for Nigel Atkins. It clears to be an identity there, which is a fighting spirit, fighting for every ball. And it's been a strong start. Just need to start winning games of football because they have only won the 2 games. And I think Tranmere will go on a decent run or a bad run eventually. It'll be interesting to see. Great win for Cambridge, Seb. A great victory. Nearly called you Jake then. You don't want to be called Jake. A good victory against a Crawley side that are really struggling at the bottom.
Yeah, good win for Cambridge. I think they're a solid side now. Obviously, Neil Harris in charge. I think they don't concede many, but they know how to get the 3 points on the board, especially at home as well. I think a positive in terms of what come out of the game for Cambridge, obviously the 3 points is the main thing, but I think the 2 strikers getting the goals, obviously Shane Lavery and then Killian Kouassi as well. That's a positive for them. Obviously, Shane Lavery, he struggles with his injury problems. If they can get him fully fit, he's going to be a big player for them, obviously, if they want to challenge in and around the playoffs. In terms of Crawley, I think they went on a decent run where they won back-to-back, but recent weeks lost 4-0 to Notts County, 3-1, obviously, on the weekend. They're actually creating chances, though. They had a couple of chances on the weekend. Last weekend at home to Barrow as well. I think it's Ryan Lofton missed an absolute sitter in injury time. So they are creating chances. And I think Scott Lindsay's still the man there, but yeah, at the moment, has not been a great start at all.
Barrow slowly picking up 0.7 points on the last 3. All of a sudden, their start doesn't look too bad, and they feel like, right, they're progressing up the table. Andy Wing has done a solid job at Barrow. I feel like he's been let down with recruitment, injuries to key players at key times. It wasn't great, though, the other day in a 0-0 draw against Shrewsbury, an absolute diabolical game. Shrewsbury are struggling. Michael Appleton's won 2 in 20, yet to win a home game. They need to slowly win games of football because Shrewsbury are heading for non-league. Back-to-back relegations happened to Forest Green, happened to Carlisle. Scunthorpe, went down the leagues very quickly. They didn't go quite back-to-back, but they went down the leagues very quickly. They look, the back 3 of Hoole, Stubbs and Boyd just don't look good enough, and they'd have Anderson in there, but they've obviously changed things up and had to. Barrow are a solid side. I think Barrow are more than enough. I think they'll probably stay where they are all season. How would you assess it then, League 2 so far? Walsall, Swindon, Grimsby, Gillingham, Salford, MK, Cambridge, top 7, and that bottom 2 of Newport and Shrewsbury. How would you assess it? Who's really impressed you, would you say?
If you want my honest answer, I don't think any side has blew me away. You had a couple of seasons ago and we had Wrexham and Stockport and Mansfield who were just well clear of everyone else. I still think the league's open. Obviously, we've been away. We've played MK Dons, we've played Chesterfield, Grimsby, Swindon. We've played a lot of the top 7, and there's good signs in some of the sides, but then I still think, in terms of the quality of the league, I just don't think, we've been in it 7 seasons now. I think the quality of the league is definitely going down each year. So I still think the league's wide up in terms of, talking about the relegation. I think, like you've mentioned, I think the sides like your Newports and your Shrewsburys, they're losing most weeks, and for some of the cases in games, they're losing heavily as well. I think that's concerning.
Yeah, I agree with you. Anything can happen. Keep the comments coming. Keep letting me know what you think down below. Seb, thanks for joining me. It's been an epic game week. Obviously, we've not been able to talk about Crewe and Harrogate, who have Crewe started the season really well. Harrogate, solid as you'd ever get, really. Currently 1-1 in that game at half time. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give a like. Please subscribe. Seb's links will be down below. Some fantastic lower league content. Hopefully, we'll get you on at a later date, Seb, and Walsall will still be up there.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching.